Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Indian School of Physics. This is Nitin here and I have come up with another very interesting problem in rotational mechanics. So as you can see in the diagram here, this is the diagram involved for the problem and it's a polyconceptual question, involves radius of curvature and rotational mechanics concepts. So let's go to the statement of this problem, and it's a very interesting problem also and very important concepts as well. So let's see here. The statement of this problem is a solid cylinder of mass m and radius r is placed on a smooth horizontal table. The two massless and inextensible strings of length L are connected at the end of the diameter of the cylinder. Two particles, each of mass m, are connected to the other end of the string as shown in the diagram. At t equal to 0, both the particles are imparted with impulse of j as shown. What will be the tension in the string, and also find the initial radius of curvature of path followed by the particle, that is just after the impulse was imparted. So as you can see in this diagram, this is the top view. Cylinder is placed and gravity is into the plane and it is placed on a smooth surface. These are the connecting strings. At the end, two particles are connected. So let's discuss the concept involved in this problem. So here we'll discuss about radius of curvature. So suppose if any particle is following a random trajectory, so at any given point its radius of curvature is basically, if we take a small arc, that arc will be part of some circle and radius of that circle is defined as radius of curvature. So we can find out, we can borrow the result of circular motion, uniform circular motion and centripetal acceleration. So in a general trajectory here, along the tangent, this particle will have velocity of v, and its total acceleration will have two components. One component will be along the tangent, that is parallel to velocity vector, we call it tangential acceleration, and there is another component which is perpendicular to the velocity vector. It is also called as radial acceleration or normal acceleration or a perpendicular, simply I can say. So by using centripetal acceleration result, that is v square by r, we can use this part here, that radius of curvature at that particular instant is given by v square by a perpendicular. I'll call this as component of acceleration perpendicular to velocity. Similarly, we can generalize this concept when 2 points in space are moving. So radius of curvature of point A with respect to point B, I can simply write as speed of A with respect to B whole square of that divided by acceleration of A with respect to B, its perpendicular component, which is perpendicular to the velocity vector. All right, so let's go to the solving part of this question here. As you can see in the top view, so when we are giving this impulse of j, instantly these two particles will acquire a speed of j by m. And now as this particle will try to move, the strings will develop a tension of T here, as we can see. But the best part here is, as per the symmetry, since both the tensions are equal here using symmetry, so we can say this cylinder, its center of mass will not be moving. Net force is 0, so center of mass will be at rest. However, due to the torque provided by the tension force, the cylinder will have a tendency of rotation. It will generate an angular acceleration of alpha. So by using torque about center of mass, I can write it as net torque as 2tr, and that should be equal to ICM into alpha, where ICM is the moment of inertia about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So when we substitute that value, ICM value is mr square by 2 for solid cylinder. So we are getting this T as mr alpha by 4. And also we can see here the speed of particle just after the impulse was imparted will be j by m. So we'll use the symbol of v, and in the last step we are going to substitute the expression of j. So here also you can say the connecting point, since the cylinder is generating this angular acceleration of alpha, these points A will have r alpha and B will have r alpha. Directions we can guess easily along the tangent. Now observing the motion of P1 with respect to B. P1 is this particle 1 and we are going to observe this motion with respect to point B. The reason is because this point is moving, and from here, in order to apply our equation of circular motion, we have to choose a frame from where we can say circular path of this particle. So in actual case, this particle is having some random trajectory. It will not follow a circular path, but with respect to point B, immediately after this impulse was imparted, this acceleration, or you can say this path, will be circular, and we can apply those concepts. So that's the reason we are choosing this reference frame as B. So we are observing particle P1 with respect to B. So we will try to draw the free body diagram of it. But what you have to remember is point B is an accelerated point having acceleration of r alpha, So here, when we are observing, the forces acting on this particle will be the tension T. Another part will be the pseudo force, because we have to apply this force equation we are writing from a accelerated frame. So pseudo force value will be mass of the particle multiplied by acceleration of this moving frame, and its direction will be opposite to that. So as you can see here, this will be the direction. Now according to this observer at B, he will find that at this very instant, particle is following this circular trajectory, and if that happens, then I can write net force towards the center is equal to mv square by r, where r is the radius of that circle, which is L in this case. So here my equation will become T plus mr alpha is equal to mv square by L. Now substituting the value of T from the previous one, here basically I'm eliminating r alpha. So on substituting this value here, I am going to get tension as mm by m plus 4m by times v naught square by L. Now here I can say, if I substitute the value of v naught in this equation, I am going to get this tension T as capital M by small m, m plus 4m j square by L. This is going to be the answer of first part. Tension is known to us. Let's move to the second part of this question, which is radius of curvature. So as you can see here, now we will come back to the ground frame, because since path is not circle from ground, it will be something else. It is a trajectory, random trajectory. However, we can find out the radius of curvature at that instant. Just after impulse was imparted, this velocity remains v naught, and here I can say radius of curvature I can write as v naught square divided by component of acceleration of this particle perpendicular to velocity. Luckily, there is only one force in horizontal plane, and that is tension T. So I can write this A as T by m. This is the total acceleration, and luckily in this case the total acceleration itself is A perpendicular, which we require for radius of curvature calculation. So if we substitute this value here, I'm going to get v naught square divided by T by m, which gives me mv naught square by T. So in the end, if I substitute the value of T in this equation from here, I'm going to get this answer as capital M plus 4m times L divided by capital M. This is the answer for second part. I hope you have enjoyed this problem, and if you have liked this video, please leave a thumbs up, share this problem and video with other students and teacher, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. I'll come up with another sizzling problem in physics very soon. Thank you very much.